So I'm Jordan Facey, founder of Phinite. We make renewable fertilizer from animal manure. We want to turn animal farms into the renewable fertilizer mines of the future, creating a sustainable loop for the natural resources that are used within agriculture to produce the food that we live off every day.
So in North Carolina, we're #2 for hog production, which means we have not only a lot of hogs, but we have a lot of manure from those hogs as well. And that manure is managed in anaerobic treatment lagoons, which include a lot of water.
Animal farms across the United States produce $5 billion worth of fertilizer every year, but a lot of the value inside that material is not being recycled properly at the moment because manure is very wet and it's very expensive for farmers to transport that material. And the reality is that conventional drying technologies typically burn fossil fuels to provide that energy for drying. The amount of water that these farms have is so large, you can't possibly pay to evaporate all of that moisture. And so instead, farmers choose to spread the material as a slurry on fields close to their farms.
In the past, I would have to find other farmers that had land, and it would involve hauling it a long ways, and that gets to be pretty expensive.
We have a lot of phosphorus in our soils in North Carolina, and so applying the sludge near the farm is not really a practical solution because we'll continue to build up soil phosphorus and potentially create water quality issues. Too much phosphorus in a field isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it can create issues for the environment. The goal is to remove phosphorus from these lagoons and get it hopefully out of North Carolina, or at least to fields that need phosphorus.
Well, managing the liquid is no problem. It's the sludge, which has a lot of phosphorus in it. So getting it into a dry material where it can be moved to other states where people need the phosphorus is what we're looking at. We're gonna have to do as farmers here in North Carolina.
The challenge with manure is both that it's wet, but also that manure is not a balanced fertilizer. So crops typically need about 4 times more nitrogen than they do phosphorus and potash. And manure tends to have approximately equal quantities of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. It's hard to balance the fertilizer needs of those crops just using manure alone. And that creates a challenge for farmers that want to use that material in the most efficient fashion.
You know, my farm's a business. I want to do everything environmentally that I can so that the hog industry continues to go, because I want to pass this down to my son and maybe to my grandson. That's one reason I don't want to take this sludge and keep applying it on land and that don't need the phosphorus,
So by drying the material out into a transportable product, and also a product that has handling properties where it's blendable with other fertilizer materials, and create a renewable fertilizer resource that ultimately meets the needs of different types of crops.
This I see as an opportunity to really answer the sludge challenge. As far as being an opportunity for row crop farmers, this could be a cheap alternative phosphorus fertilizer. As far as the environment, when we're able to move manures farther from the facility and put them where they're actually needed, then that allows us to reduce our environmental footprint in the actual hog production.
And so we developed a low-cost, low-energy drying technology that utilises enormous amounts of environmental energy to dry this material, and as a result is able to produce a fertiliser product that is much better for the environment than conventional synthetic fertilisers.
I think a lot of the farmers are not going to have any other choice to keep their farm operating, to stay in business, because a lot of farmers are not going to have the land to put the sludge on. The phosphorus buildup in the soil is going to get so bad that they'll be forced to do something like this.
We met Charles and Derek through mutual connections of ours, and then they agreed to go ahead with the drying system because they understood the need for a sustainable solution, and particularly they really taught me about the stewardship aspect of what I'm talking about. This is a really important part of seeing farmers' belief system come into practice.
This product in this lagoon has been a problem till Jordan come along with the idea to dry it. I was skeptical. I didn't think it would dry like this. You really need to see what it looks like when it's put in and then look at it now. It's amazing to me.